Hey everyone, welcome to or back to the channel. My name is Hunter Houck, and in today's video, I'm actually going to be looking over your enclosures, my viewers, my subscribers, who I am very grateful for. I asked you to send in some of your enclosures, and you certainly did not disappoint. I received quite a few submissions, and so I'm going to go through probably 4 or 5 of these in this video. Joining me today is going to be my female blizzard leopard gecko, Pippin. She is literally the most amazing creature in the entire world. I say that about literally every one of my animals every time I get them out, so... But yeah, she's amazing. Before we get started, I want to say, if Pippin could just get on my shoulder real quick, please. If you like my sweatshirt, you can get it at shop.hunterhouck.com. It is my merchandise, and that is the #1 way that you can support the channel and help me to continue making awesome content for you and upgrading all of my animal enclosures and stuff like that. It all goes back to the animals end of the channel, so I really appreciate it. This first enclosure is it's an 18 by 18 by 24 enclosure for Gracie's Crested gecko. I don't know why I forgot what it was. His name is Echo. So it says she's hoping to go bioactive soon, which that's so cool. But we're gonna look at it non-bioactive, and then maybe if I do a part 2, you can submit it again when it is bioactive and we can see the growth. So it looks like, oh wow, okay, Echo is really pretty. I love Echo. He's a very cool gecko. Anyways, so it looks like there are at least 3, if not 4, fake plants on the sides. It looks like there's about 1 in every corner, except I can't see the back right corner, but I'm sure there is somewhere. And it has one of the Exoterra fake backgrounds, which I personally don't love. I'd say that would be my first suggestion, is when you do go bioactive, make a DIY background. Those usually look a little bit better than the Exoterra ones, because the Exoterra ones everyone has, and DIY ones, while a lot of people have them, no ones are exactly alike, and that's what makes them special and unique. Oh gosh, I didn't mean to scare Pippin. Pippin, come here where the people can see you, they love you. So it looks like the first thing I'm noticing is when he's sitting in the middle, he is pretty exposed, just sitting on that piece of bark. And while sometimes they do want to be kind of out in the open to bask, I'd say towards the bottom, add some more foliage in the middle, like... Oh, it's in a quarantine enclosure in a different room, so I can't grab it, but there are some fake plants that you can get that kind of are bushy and stuff. But one thing that I would recommend when you get a bioactive enclosure for him is, since, as you're very well aware, crested geckos like to lodge themselves in here, I've seen plenty of YouTubers who have crested geckos who actually have dracaenas in there, and they get a lot bigger than this. And they can kind of go all the way up to the top, and then they like to sleep in between here, and I actually need to water this one. Sorry, little dracaena. This is a dracaena jade jewel from Josh's Frogs, but most garden stores and stuff have them. Just be sure to properly quarantine it first. I do really love the wood in the cork bark that's in there. I would say, just make sure that the cork bark has a hole. It looks like maybe it does at the bottom or the back. It's just being blocked. But a hole where he can go in there and lodge himself in there to sleep. But always make sure you can get to him in case he gets sick or something and you need to take him to the vet. And it looks like you're using Eco-Earth, which actually, I know you are using Eco-Earth. And I would just say, like, that's a good substrate, but when you go bioactive, don't use that because your plants would die. I'm sure you already know that, but in case someone who's watching this doesn't know that, now you do. And I'm not sure what light you have, it doesn't say, but I would be interested if you do go bioactive. If you try a UVB for him, I would be interested to see your results on that, because I don't have a crested gecko permanently. I'm fostering one right now, but if I ever get one permanently, I would love to use UVB for them. So if you do some research on that and let me know if your gecko does like it. I don't know. Tell me. Teach me. I like learning from all of you as well. So first of all, I love how your reptile room is like the exact same as mine. You have your MacBook on top, and then you have your tape measure, which my tape measure is actually put up right now in the closet where it's supposed to be, but I always have it out because I'm always measuring the shelves to see what other tanks I can fit. And then cork bark, because it's the best part of reptile keeping. So this is Gracie's leopard gecko enclosure. It's for Atlas, her special needs leopard gecko. He has a Exoterra long low, which has the floor space of a 40-gallon breeder. It's just not as high because she said that since Atlas is special needs, if he were to fall, he could get hurt. Anyways, that's why you'll notice she doesn't provide a ton of climbing opportunities, because she doesn't want him to get hurt. It looks like there are... Oh, I see what that is. So there's a fake hide, not a fake hide, it's a hide, and then another hide in the front, a hide in the back corner, another hide in the right back corner, and then in the front left corner, I'm not sure what that is, it looks like something that he could climb on if he wanted to. And I'm making sure Pippin's not about to fall off because she likes to sit in my hood. So one thing that I would say is, I'm trying to think of suggestions for this, because my only suggestion would be give him a background that he can climb. But if he's a special needs leopard gecko, you can't really do that because he could end up getting hurt. So I'd say just keep doing what you're doing, just maybe add a couple more plants in the middle or something. Okay, so this next enclosure there is only one picture from, and it is from, I believe it's Amelia. I took horrible notes on these, so I'm just going off of my memory. But this is a White's Tree Frogs enclosure, and the cool thing is Amelia actually found my channel because she works at Josh's Frogs, which, as you guys know, is my favorite company. Anyways, she says, "This is my White's Tree Frog enclosure. I have one female named Big Bertha and one male named Louie. They're both about 2 years old. My fiance and I love your unboxing, specifically the Josh's Frogs ones. I work for the plant department. Have a good day." And yeah, I'm so happy that you found my channel because I love my plants from Josh's Frogs. That's from Josh's Frogs. That's from Josh's Frogs. This is from Josh's Frogs. There, I can see like 8 plants in my bedroom alone that are from Josh's Frogs. So, anyways, I love that. And so she didn't provide a ton of details about the size of the enclosure or the lighting or anything, but it does look like it's bioactive. It has several fake plants at the bottom, plenty to climb up top, and some ledges on the side, and a hide on the side and towards the top. Since I don't know a ton about this enclosure, since there isn't a ton of information, my one suggestion would be just add taller plants that they can climb in, because they like plants more than they like bark. So I would just say, yeah, give them some taller plants, like maybe a snake plant or a dracana, just like I recommended for Gracie, a dracana. Or don't do a croton, those are toxic to White's Tree Frogs. Yeah, those are my 2 best suggestions. This one I really wanted to talk about because this enclosure, quite frankly, makes me sad. Anyways, it says, so her cool hide is anywhere she wants to sleep, because I don't think she'll exactly need a cool hide when she can sleep anywhere. Her moist hide is when I'll spray the same cage when she's shedding, and I don't really know. So she only has one cave to sleep in. It looks like a water bowl and a little climbing structure, and then part of the tank has Repticarpet, and then part of it is just bare glass, and there's one little paper towel in the corner for her to go to the bathroom on, and it's heated with a heat bulb instead of a heat mat and thermostat. And this enclosure, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, it gets 0 stars. This is sadly not the worst leopard gecko enclosure I've ever seen. I've seen worse ones, but... So, the first thing I do is throw away the Repticarpet. That stuff harbors bacteria, and even if you were to put it in the washing machine every single day, you couldn't keep up with how much bacteria grows in it, and your leopard gecko is going to get sick from that. Throw it out and use something like paper towels if you're going to use a solid substrate. And you need a cool hide and you need a humid hide. Those things aren't optional. You have to have them. Definitely figure that out. So you're gonna have to move. I'm just trying to think here, how can I say this? You're gonna have to get another hide to be the cool hide, and you can use like a Tupperware container or something, cut a hole in it, make sure you sand down the edges so that they're not sharp, and then put a wet paper towel in there to be the humid hide. You also need to use a heat mat and a thermostat instead of this unregulated heat bulb. That's gonna end up making your gecko get hurt eventually. I would just do research from the very beginning on how to take care of a leopard gecko, especially its enclosure, because that just really looks like you haven't done a ton of research, and I would certainly do some more. This next enclosure is from Brandon M, and he says, "This is my 20-gallon Zoom-Ed enclosure for my 2 green anoles named Bonnie and Clyde, 1 male and 1 female. I have a misting system, UVB, fluorescent bulb, ceramic heat emitter on a thermostat, and just a regular bulb for light. Plenty of fake vines, some cork bark, and all local sticks collected by me. Substrate is Eco-Earth. The basking spot sits between 85 and 90 degrees, with the rest of the tank in the high 70s. This is Fahrenheit, I'm hoping. It is. Anyways, so thanks for sending in your enclosure. I'm pulling up the picture right now, and the first thing that my eyes get drawn to are those beautiful fake plants. I really like those. The second thing that my eyes get drawn to is the substrate, which I really don't like. Eco-Earth can be good in some cases, but in dry substrates, it's not the move. And it looks like this isn't plain Eco-Earth. It definitely has some stuff on it that I would get rid of. But anyways, yeah, definitely change from Eco-Earth to something else that isn't quite as dusty when it's dry. The sticks, it looks like, are good. Just make sure it's a reptile safe wood. The UVB and basking bulb, that's important. It looks like it's a linear UVB, which is good because the coil UVBs don't actually do anything. The misting system, that's awesome. That's pretty important. And yeah, all around the rest of the enclosure looks good. It just looks a little plain, like kind of sterile, so I would fix that by getting some sort of cool background. Next, I'm going to move on to this 4x2x2 bearded dragon enclosure that Monty sent in. Thank you, Monty, for sending me photos of this. Pippin is about to jump, and that is not good, so I'm going to put her here so I can watch her. So it looks like it has, first of all, the first thing I notice is it's a really nice enclosure. I love how he custom built it and put a nice wallpaper on the sides and the back. I would definitely keep that wallpaper on the sides, but I would actually do some sort of styrofoam fake background on the back. That would just look a little bit nicer and stuff, so it's totally up to you if you want to do that. But consider it. My phone's alarm just went off, so I need to hurry up because I need to be on a meeting here in a second. Anyways, I really like how he has, I believe Sansa is a male. He has lots of stuff to climb. My only thing I would say is definitely if he's not going to try to eat them, add some fake plants and maybe some cork bark as well. My bearded dragon River really likes cork bark because she can go inside of it and she can climb on top of it if she wants to as well, so I would add that. And the thing I would say, I'm not a huge fan of using blankets because they can, or like teddy bears and stuff, because they can get bacteria, but as long as you're making sure that they are washed, I don't really see a huge issue with that. Just make sure her or his nails can't get caught in there either. So it looks like you have linear UVB, which is really important, and you have a basking bulb. That's both really good, but one thing I noticed is your linear UVB is on one side and the basking bulb is on the other. So Sansa right now would have to decide if he wants to get UVB or heat. One thing that I would do to fix that is just move the UVB bulb to be in the center or like closer to the right side so that she can be basking and getting heat and UVB as well. And when she's not necessarily basking, she can get UVB too. That's what I would do, but yeah, otherwise I really like your enclosure. I didn't even see newspaper. I would say maybe switch the newspaper out for paper towels just because paper towels provide a little bit more support. Like you see, I will reuse this, but you can kind of push down on them and they are a little bit more supportive. And I'm gonna set that right there so I don't waste it. Anyways, they also don't have ink because if Sansa were to lick the newspaper, that could get some toxins inside of her. But otherwise, I do really like your enclosure. I think it's a great size. 4x2x2 is awesome, and Sansa is a lovely bearded dragon. Thank you so much for submitting your enclosure, Monty. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I'm really sorry if I didn't get to your enclosure. I will do a part 2, which means I'm opening submissions back up for part 2. You can email your photos of your enclosure as well as some information about them to viewersubmissions@hunterhouck.com. If you email them to my business email or my fan mail email, you won't be in the video because that goes to a special inbox so that I can save them to see them when I'm filming the video. So please send them to that. It will be in the description as well, so you can copy and paste it into your email address, or you can post it on Instagram and tag me, as long as you make sure to say in the caption that I can use them in the video. Be sure to tell me about your animals and your enclosure as well, so that I am not just like, oh, here's this enclosure, but I don't know what lives in it or how big it is. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out the merch at shop.hunterhouck.com, and until next time, have a nice day.